Hey, this is Dan here from Rune Silk, and I'm joined by one other, and that's none other than Damo for show. And this is the BeardMail podcast. So sit back, listen, and enjoy.
How low can you go, Dan?
We're not even here today. We're not even here. I am.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. What are we doing?
What are you doing? My chair's broken. My chair broke. I can't lift it any higher than this. So I'm seeing what it's like from this perspective today.
For those of you that are listening on Spotify and Anchor and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and all the soundy things, you can't see what's happening. But what's happening is Dan has slumped. His posture is poor. He's slumped in his chair. He's got some Rune Silk glasses on. He looks really cool. And his brilliant lighting in his studio makes my lighting look horrific. So if you haven't watched us on YouTube, go and check out YouTube. Today's podcast is all about the podcast. What?
Yeah.
What? What? You mean there's a podcast about the podcast? Yes, that's right.
Oh,
Dan and I.
Dan and I. Share, sorry.
Dan and I. Hang on a minute, Dan. That's the same shirt you had on in last week's podcast.
I like this shirt. Don't judge me, okay?
So yeah, we're talking about the podcast. I thought it would be a brilliant idea for me and Dan to chew the fat and talk about the BeardMail podcast. And hopefully you guys listening will get some interaction on the go, pop some comments in and tell us what you think. We're going to talk about the podcast, the future of the podcast, what's happened on the podcast and where it's going. So that is our topic. And it's going to be a shorter one, not least of all, because I need to go to the lavatory. So I reckon half an hour for today's one, Dan. I can hold it in that long. Talk about the podcast. Go.
So what's been your favourite so far? This is episode 15, isn't it? So
I'm just going to get myself a drink while you talk about
that. Oh, cheers. So this is episode 15 now, isn't it? So we've nailed 14 podcasts, which I'm quite surprised and proud of, the fact that I've managed to keep it going for this long, because I really crap at this sort of thing usually. So well done to me for just... And well done for Damo for keeping me accountable to this as well. Because
I was about to say that actually.
Yeah, I just said it for you. So, but now you got your beer. What has been your favourite topic that we've done so far?
I have had a massive love for the BeardMail podcast ever since this Yeti mic arrived. Ever since then, I've loved them all because the sound of it is just amazing. How amazing is that sound on the podcast? Oh yeah,
they are really good mics.
But content-wise and things we've spoken about, I genuinely, and I mentioned this to somebody today actually, I've enjoyed the podcast because not only have we discussed salient stuff that may entertain, that may help, that may educate, and may make our viewers and listeners laugh, but I've also enjoyed just spending time with you each week or most weeks, however we've been doing it. It's been good to connect because we are gentlemen of an age. We live on further sides away from the country, but the medium of technology in this podcast has brought us together. And I've actually enjoyed that. So in answer to your question, my favorite episode was, I like the food one because I learned a lot about you and food, and I made an hilarious blunder about Japan. I kind of liked the first one, although the sound quality was absolutely poop. I liked the first one because I got to talk about Braveheart. And they were some of the memorable ones for me. What about you? Everyone's going to remember this one because we can't hear anything you're saying, Dan. For those of you that are listening in, Dan is chatting away like his mic's on, and it's not.
Is it on? Is it on?
There we go.
Oh, I think I tapped it. Oh, do you know what the worst thing is, right? You were saying something about being like you went together. Yeah. And unfortunately, my mic was off because and you didn't hear me go, "You and I belong together." I started singing that, but obviously no one heard it.
I think that last segment of this podcast was my favourite because it's the only one when you haven't interrupted me doing brilliant things like this with your ridiculous Home and Away and Neighbours songs. So, do you know what I like the ones with all your accents in. Which one was that?
That was the Irish one, wasn't it?
Was that Paddy's Day?
Paddy's Day one, but the first one was actually Retro Not Retro, and you talked about Braveheart in episode 2. So just go to show how much you really love this podcast, doesn't it?
Tells you how long ago it was, Dan. Tells you how long ago.
I know. I've enjoyed quite most of them actually. I quite liked a couple of the recent ones. The Beard Tips one was quite. The Persuade Me one was good. I really enjoyed the Persuade Me one. I thought that was quite funny actually. Listening to that back. But again, I think I've enjoyed the process. I think it's been quite good. I think hopefully they're getting better. Hopefully our audience thinks they're getting better.
Hopefully we get some audience soon.
hopefully people start listening. Like, listen, guys, seriously, like, share it. You just get your nan, your dad, your dog. Just if you've got pets and you go to work. Some people like to play them on the radio. We've got 14 episodes. This is episode 15 now. Just put them on back to back so your dogs can listen to Damo and I talk, or your pets, or your cats, or your fish, or whatever. And that will help us get our likes and or not our likes, but our listens up as well. So forget Classic FM. Put them on BeardMail.
I did used to leave. You can get them YouTube channels for cats on, and the cat just sits there and watches mice and birds and stuff flapping about. But I can't afford to do it now. Electricity bill's gone too high. We have to let the cat go outside instead. It's not as fat as it used to be.
Now you could just put on Alexa and have a play.
Have a play this. Good.
So
just quickly, I don't want people to. It sounds like it's the end of the podcast. It's not. It's not by any stretch of the imagination. We're just reminiscing about those great times, and then we're going to plan what's going to be happening in the future. So don't be dismayed if you sat there right now listening or watching. There's loads more to come. Don't panic.
So I think as well, I think what might be quite cool is, I don't know how we can do this, and we have to speak to Jamie obviously about this as well from Opie's, but I think it'd be quite cool because Opie's competition starts quite early, doesn't it? It's quite a long day, isn't it?
Yeah, day afternoon-y thing.
So do you think we could do a live podcast
at the event? Technologically wise, I won't have my laptop and my Yeti mic. How do you do it without the Yeti mic?
So I have got one of these.
We could just record it on a dictaphone.
I've got a portable Rode thing. So you plug it into your phone, and then you just have it. You just talk to people, and you can actually interview people at OP.
Oh.
We can have a pod. We can actually talk to people. We could do a live podcast while we interview people from the bearded community. Just putting it out there. Jamie, let us know if that's okay. If it's not okay, we're going to do it anyway because
we'll do it secretly outside. We'll do it secretly outside. We'll catch people on the way.
We could, right? But I think that might be quite fun if we did it like a bit of a live. Because let's face it, not everyone can make this comp. I know there's quite a few people coming already. The tickets are booked, and I'm personally looking forward to it. Got my Rune Silk hoodie ready. My samples.
You can't wear that.
No, I can. I'm not going to wear. I'm not going to take samples. But I've already spoken to Ollie from Wild Hair. He's wearing his Wild Hair hoodie. He said he's not going to do anything else but wear his Wild Hair hoodie.
He's not even going to wear trousers.
No, just this hoodie. Just probably going to wear it upside down so that the hood can cup under his balls or something. But I think. No, I'm not. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might actually dress up for this one. I haven't really given it much thought at all yet. So, yeah, I'm a bit worried about the competition. I've entered the 8-inch demo, and I think I'm hitting what's it called when you get
terminal
length. I'm struggling. I'm like 7.9 inches apparently.
I was thinking that you looked like you'd had a little trim, mate.
I have had a trim. Maybe that was what it was.
Yeah, that's all it is. You're just missing it. Anyway, we're not here to talk about beards. We're here to talk about the BeardMail podcast. So let's ask the question: would viewers like to see the BeardMail podcast on the road? I have a question for you, Dan. That'd be worth chatting about. I would like to get some more guests on. We obviously had Paolio for show back in the day. Luciani, the bearded handballer, came on, and it was lovely. It was completely different dynamics with three of us. But I would like to get some guests on, and I'm caught betwixt whom to get on. That's proper. Like I've been reading a bloody dictionary. Right? I mean, I didn't know whom betwixt to have on the show, Daniel. So I don't know whether like we should go for like a top level celebrity and just put it out there, just pretend we've got a really good podcast with loads of people and see if they'll do it, or whether we should get someone from the bearded community, or whether we should get somebody from nothing to do with beards, or whether we should get somebody like I don't know. What do you think, Dan? Who would be a good guest? And people at home listening right now, who would be a good guest for us to get on the show?
Well, I quite like to do, before we started the BeardMail podcast, I think I wanted to do a podcast a while ago about beards, but it was going to be, the topic was essentially going to be beards in business. And I wanted to kind of find people who had their own businesses or were freelancers or self-employed, but had big beards, not just facial hair, but people with big beards. Yeah, absolutely. Like Damo's absolute his 1.7% on his face. Sorry.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you need to listen back to the previous episodes.
Might be talking about his beard.
Magic 1.7.
But I think that might be quite cool. If we had that, I think we had someone who.
Do you think just playing devil's advocate, just going to push back a little bit? Do you think our audience, all 17 of them, do you think they are entrepreneur business people that are interested in that stuff, or do you think our audience are just beardos, or do you think also I don't even know who our 17 subscribers are, but they're probably just, they're probably all 30-year-old models. Lady models that just like the beards. I don't know who are our audience, Dan.
That's a great question.
Ollie and Paddy and Gaz also. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
Who are the other 14?
3 stickers. I think it'd be quite cool. I think it's difficult for us to assume what our audience wants, isn't it? I mean, we could approach people who are well known in the bearding community. We could talk about it'd be nice if we could get maybe the BMG on, if he would be interested in talking about his experience in the bearding community. I know he's got a lot of love and respect in the community.
He's got no beard though, so he probably couldn't.
He kind of has. He's this big mustache, and he took it right down, didn't he? He lost all the length.
Well, he strikes me as a sort of gent that could just grow that back within about 4 days, and then whoosh, he'll be back.
I reckon he just have a can of spinach, and it just goes.
I think, as far as beardy guests go, for those of you that are involved in Damo's Beardy Fun Club, which is one of the best beard clubs out there, I've done a lot of that already. So I've covered a lot of the beard community. I've done all the legends. I've had Santa Blake on there. I've had David Dade on there, and your Mick Wallages and your Russell Bristows and your Dan Silky Browns. I've had everybody on there, right? And I've already done that, so I don't really want to do it again. But that said, I know a lot of people haven't seen those interviews because they are private and exclusive in that club. But I think the BeardMail podcast is bigger than that. I think it's going to be wider than that, and I think I'm talking like the world is our oyster. Who could we get on the show? I
would like to get. I know this isn't world is our oyster type. This isn't going outside the box.
David Hasselhoff.
But no, and I know you could make this happen. I think
David Goggins.
No, I want David. I want David better. I want Richie Finney on.
Yeah, we could get Rich on. Hey,
I want Richie Finney on. I want Richie from Fawcett on. I think because he's a lovely guy.
Lovely.
Everyone knows his brand. If you don't know his brand, then I don't understand what you're doing. Well, you're probably just buying Rune Silk or something, or like Opie's or Wild Hair or something.
Richie's brand is the Chief of Taps. What? Yeah, Captain Fawcett. See what I did there?
Let's see what he did there. I quite like that. See, look, we got banter jokes. You don't have to go anywhere else. But I think he would be a really nice person to have on, and I think we could learn because he does all sorts. He's got into bikes and all sorts, doesn't he? He does his little journeys on bikes and travels and stuff.
And movies and that, I'm sure he's got a famous actress wife or something as well,
Exactly. So I think it'd be nice to get him on. I am thinking beard related people. I would, if we can get famous people with beards, like someone like Hugh Jackman with his nice Wolverine beard on.
Nah. Oh, although right, let's say hypothetically speaking, we get some really great guests on. What would we do them? Because with Paolo, he interviewed us, which was a nice little spin, a little bit different. But what are we going to do? We're just going to ask them like questions because that could be boring. I'm all about that entertainment, Dan. I want to make people laugh, get them to tell us jokes. What should we do? Let's get a comedian on. Let's get a comedian on that makes people laugh.
Why don't we get someone who can read a bedtime story when this goes live at 7:30
in the morning?
Yeah,
Do you know what?
everyone driving on the way to work, like.
I tell you what, there is absolute legs in a bit of story time. This is a lovely story in itself, actually. I was once walking around a park and I found a book, and being a good Samaritan, I was going to go and find out whom it belonged to and hand it in. And it was basically a Facebook thing set up by parents and kids. And basically it's called Find a Book or something. I can't remember the exact thing of it, but basically you find the book, you basically read it, and then you go and hide it somewhere else with a little note that says, it was like, oh, hello, my name's Steve. I'm 8 years old from Banbury. This is my book. Enjoy it. And basically, and then you just keep hiding it. And it was a thing. And I didn't know, but I stumbled upon this book, and it was Thomas the Tank Engine. And I haven't read a Thomas Tank Engine book for years. And I basically sat on a bench in the park and read it live on Facebook. And this book was the most sexual innuendo, filthy.
I saw this video, I think.
And you know what? I laughed. I did a video. I laughed myself. It was hilarious. Thomas the Tank Engine was doing these terrible things, and it was really sexual. And I don't know whether that was just my brain or whether that's how it actually reads for everybody else. But it was really funny. So storytelling, there's legs in that. Shall we get somebody on who's famous to read a book? Not Deepak Taylor, because I know you keep banging on about him also, but to read like maybe a Mr. Man book or a kid's book. What do you think?
I think that'd be quite fun. I think that'd be quite nice. I think it's does that then create its own theme though, and it's almost then
someone's going to steal that. Someone's going to steal that already.
I think it'd be nice to have it as an episode. I wouldn't want to do it as a theme, but I think it'd be quite cool to have it. Speaking of tongue-in-cheek, funny Mr. Men type stuff or Thomas the Tank Engine type stuff. When I was a lot younger, my mum used to work for a it was like an editing company. This was when videos were back in the day, and every Christmas they would always get a lot of the spoof stuff. And one year there was Rainbow, and it was I think it was George. George was saying, "Whoa, where's Zippy? Oh, Zippy's under the table playing with his balls, George." Oh, can I go and play with Zippy's balls under the table? Well, I think you'd have to ask him nicely. And that's reminded me of that, just because it was obviously that was the kind of sort of 80s comedy stuff that people would get as a Christmas gift of but that was just absolutely just pure filth. Yeah. Oh, Zippy's under the table playing with his balls, George.
Hold that thought, Dan. I've just got to do a voice note to my mate Dan from Reeshilk. Bedtime story idea. Don't forget. Sorry, I just had a little idea, actually. Not for the podcast, or something else. Oh, it's great, isn't it? Great minds and how ideas create. So yeah, let's get a guest on. You want to get Richard Finney, I want to get David Hasselhoff. Let's put the work in and see what happens.
So what we need to do, we will compile our top 100 list.
It's a lot.
Well, we're going to do this. We said it in a previous podcast that we were going to do like 7,000 episodes or something. So 100 isn't too. It's just a starting. It's just a scratching the surface.
I wouldn't have said that.
So I think it's 600. It might be 600. But if we can do top 100, we don't have to. You've got to remember, this is a wish list. This isn't a top 100. Oh shit, we're going to get one, because it could have Richard Branson on this list. But if we do a top 100 list and our audience members also contribute, so we can allocate 5 slots or something for our massive audience.
Well, you'll have to be quick, guys, because 3 have already gone. Richie Finney, David Hasselhoff, Deepak Taylor. That's it. We're down to 97 already. So get going.
So hurry up. And then we can actually, then what we do is we just spend some time and we just go, right. Because eventually, some of these people will contact us and say, oi, I want to be on your podcast because you guys are smashing it in BeardMail right now. You're like
your content is so great. Your content is so great. I listened to your podcast the other day, and all you talked about was your own podcast.
You know what? Here's a way to test our listeners. If there is any Royal Mail staff, ladies, postmen, who have seen one of my our BeardMail stickers on any of these boxes, let us. I mean, I print. They're mine in that I got them done, but they're ours. BeardMail stickers.
No, Dan, these are officially yours because I don't like them. I think they look really crap.
Yeah, they are a bit. They are a bit. Yeah, they're a bit. They're a bit.
They're Mark
fadey, aren't
1,
they?
Mark 2. Mine are Mark 5.
I was playing with something and trying to make it look a bit graffiti like. So, but if there's any Royal Mail staff out there that has actually seen one of these stickers in real life on a box, let us know, because I'm sticking it on everything that goes in the post.
I stick it on everything as well, but the trouble is, it doesn't really say on there. Listen to our podcast. If you're a Royal Mail person, listen to our podcast, and we're going to talk about you. If that was on the sticker, they would see it and go, "What is BeardMail? Oh, it's a podcast. I'm going to listen to that," and then they would listen back, and then it would be brilliant. It'd be brilliant.
Yeah. So Mark 3 on the sticker. We just need to think a bit more. I just wanted to get some stickers, and they were just quickly done. So we have to work on this next set of stickers. I do have some BeardMail Instagram QR codes that I'm putting on boxes now as well.
Ooh, very modern.
Yeah. So they're slapping them all. I'm all over the place. Honestly, boxes are arriving through the post like BeardMail, like literally, like so. We can, people just need to just let us know. Have you seen one of these stickers in a gents?
So if you've seen a BeardMail sticker, and if you've zapped that QR code, what's it just take to the website or something, or to the link tree?
No, the QR code takes it. It's an Insta QR code, so it will take it to the Instagram. Just because I want to start building the Instagram up a little bit.
Yeah, Insta. Good-o. So we're going to combine. We're going to somehow compile a list of 100 people we could get on the show, and then we're going to go and get some of them on the show. But this is the question, Dan: what are we going to do with them?
Challenges. We'll have a challenge coin. We can do all sorts. We can get them to.
Sounds great.
Get them to make those kind of noises. I don't know. If they've got a beard, we can get them in the studio, and they can just do this all over the microphone and see how nice it sounds. I think I don't know. I don't know. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, you put me on the spot here, Demo, for showing. I don't really know what we would do with people. I'll talk to you. I'll speak to Richie Finney. I'll probably be like a little schoolgirl going, "It's Captain Fawcett, guys." I think if it was David Hasselhoff, I'd probably get my nipples out and I'd say, "Please touch them." So I think it depends on the guest. I can't just say what would we do with them because I don't know who. It really depends on who the guest is. If the guest is like,
if it's Richard Branson, for example, all we're going to do is tap him up for some cash.
Just going to ask him for a tenner.
Yeah. If it's Richie Finney, we're just going to behave like schoolgirls. If it's David Hasselhoff, probably just going to ask if he's still got Pam's number. To be fair.
Yeah. She looking all right still? She's still
I'm sure she'll be fine. I'm sure she'll be fine. Take a hit for the team.
Think of her in the 90s. She was banging in the 90s. Remember what her face looked like in the 90s?
Right, put her on the list immediately.
Get
her on the list.
Let me just get one of those out from the side there and just push that back around to the front.
That reminds me.
No, I'm not going to tell you if you only listen to the podcast, you can guess what I'm talking about. I'm not going to tell you.
Out, but that has reminded me. Can we also put Dolly Parton on the list?
Yeah, I've seen Dolly Parton play at Hop Farm.
In real life?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. How was it? I've seen a what's not a lookalike, but what's a tribute band? Very good.
I mean, this was 2012. So it's good 10 years ago.
10 years ago. So she would have been about 85, 90 then?
Yeah, look all right.
I don't know how old Dolly is. Is she still going? She's still going, isn't she?
She's still going, yeah. To be honest, she was on a stage and I was about very far away from the stage. So I could see her on a screen like that. Yeah, she's all right. Looks all right. But it's Dolly, isn't it?
Nice.
I've seen quite a few famous people play.
Where's this list going to be? Can we put this list somewhere where people can add to it because it's quickly filling up? If we're only having 100 to start with, we've got Richie Finney, Deepak Taylor, Richard Branson, David Hasselhoff, Pam Anderson, Dolly Parton, and I personally feel I've contributed most to that list so far, Dan. So,
I said Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, that was rubbish. I sort of dismissed that off the list, if I'm honest with you.
He's Wolverine, man.
Yeah. All right, you can have him. You can put him on the list. Who else? Go on. Let's get to 10, and then we'll let everyone else fill in the blanks.
Can we have the? Isn't there the bird from Beard Struggle ambassador with the beard? Is that no? That's also Captain Fawcett, isn't it? Hasn't Captain Fawcett got a woman with a beard as an ambassador?
Oh, Lady Penelope. Lady Penelope. CF Lady Penelope off the Instagram. We'll get her on bloody road, yeah.
You sound just like him.
All hail the hirsute.
Yeah, so I think I don't know. I think it'd be wicked to hear people's iconic stories, and if they have a beard, all the better.
Yeah, let's put that on its head. So we don't just want any old guest. We want a guest with an epic story. So basically, me and Dan don't have to do anything other than listen to an epic story. That is
Well, come on.
genius, Daniel.
I
Genius.
know, right? Exactly.
I
So
love it.
I'm just trying to think how we can turn the podcast a little bit passive.
If you have an epic story to tell and you want to tell it on BeardMail, get in touch. We will put you on the list just behind Pamela, Dolly, Dave, and Richie. Boom.
Ahead of Hugh, then. Right. Okay.
Yeah, he's still way down the list, actually.
So what's your problem with Hugh Jackman, man?
I think it's the aggressive hands. You know, the blades and that. Bit aggressive, bit much, isn't it?
I mean, all right. Well, we could ask him if he could come in as the Greatest Showman instead.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Do you know what? I've probably just not seen a lot of him. He's probably a great guy. He hasn't really got a proper beard though either. Do you know what I mean? Not knocking chops, obviously. Let's get Mick on. That'd be too sweary if we had Mick on.
Yeah, we'd have to put that on like an OnlyFans
beep,
channel.
beep, beep, beep.
Sounds like a truck backing up. Well, did you just get a truck in? Did you just get a truck in that was reversing or something?
Hey, speaking of a truck reversing, let's get Nicki Minaj on.
Yeah. I think she would love it.
How do you get famous celebs on your show? Do you have to pay them?
No, you have to. Well, there is that, but don't forget last week's podcast when we talked about free stuff. There is always a way, but again, it takes time and consistency and badgering. You just got to keep sliding into the DMs. The problem with DMs is that if they're not following you, you end up in that stupid request box. And I imagine someone like Nicki Minaj, her request box is like millions because people are like, I just want to talk to you, and she's just like, I ain't going through all of that. I've tried to tell you what, Jason Momoa, right? Get him on because he can let his hair down and I can touch it. But I keep messaging him, keep saying, hey man, look, I have to keep unsending the message and sending it again. I'm like, hey man, your beard is sexual. Can I just send you some beard care stuff? And it doesn't get seen, so I delete it.
Do you know what? There is I've seen a post go around on Facebook and it says on the post, tag in your favorite celebrity and see if they reply. And sometimes the celebrity actually has replied on it and it's quite clever. We should do that. And also I was thinking, I was drunk one night and I was messaging somebody who's going out with, oh God, this is terrible now. He's been in extras and he was in Pirates of the Caribbean, not the main guy, but he's quite a handsome chap, or thinks he's handsome, but he's not. But he is. Pirates of the Caribbean, not Johnny Depp. Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, the blonde guy. No, he was in The Office, not the one that was in The Office. Is The Office the blonde?
No. Go back to Pirates of the Caribbean, not Johnny Depp. The other one, Orlando Bloom. So Orlando Bloom, he just recently did a short film by.
He's married to Katy Perry, isn't he?
Yes, that's him. So I messaged them both because he's just done a film through a guy who wrote it. He's from Coventry, Jeff Thompson, who's I was a massive fan of Jeff back in the day. That's another whole long story. But he's basically done this brilliant film, but very local and very in. So I thought, I'm going to message him. And I messaged him, got nothing back. I thought, I'm going to message Katie, see if she'll tell him. And I basically was trying to talk to him about this film that's brilliant. I can't remember the name of it now. But the original version was called Romans 12:20. And I watched it at Warwick Arts Centre with a question and answer with Jeff. And I asked Jeff the question and the producers were there. And I asked them a question. And it was all an epic time of my life. But Orlando Bloom, I've DM'd him, didn't work. So yeah, you're right. DMs are not
you won't get in their social DMs because not only that, if they've 100% got private accounts for themselves.
Yeah, they don't do their own one.
So their blue ticked accounts are being run by a PR agency or like a social media assistant. So there's no chance they're even sliding into any of their own DMs. Yeah. They'll pay someone in the Philippines or something who will be commenting and responding to messages and stuff. Oh, that's not Katy Perry, is it? It's Christina Ricci, isn't it, that he's married to?
Yeah, that's same person. Isn't it? Let's get both of them on. Let's get them both on together and see if you can tell the difference.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I think we should try and we have our 100 hit list. I don't know how we can make that live for people to just contribute, but we can add stuff for people.
We can just pop it on our spreadsheet together. We'll pop it on the Facebook page, or do it in a Facebook group. And people can just add on the Facebook group. We've got 700 people in the group. I'm sure we can get 100 celebrities off the back of that, or celebrity. And Dan, I think
wow.
that's it. I think that's it. I think we've got enough to go with. So if you have been listening, if you have enjoyed the show, please let us know which guests you would like on. And actually, if you want to tell us what you want us to do with them, that would be cool.
Or do you just want to come on? You don't have to be famous. Like, do you just want to be invited to our podcast? Like, look,
do you want to be on the show?
We're humans. We're not celebrities. We're not going to blank you in our request box.
To be fair, I've probably got loads of people in my request box right now. I'll just message my Filipino virtual assistant and see if Orlando Bloom did in fact message me back. Actually, here we go.
That's a no. Did he make that? That's a no.
I've literally got no requests in my but that's sad, isn't it? Not even any spam wants to talk to me. Right, Daniel,
the only one I
have to go. Dan,
yeah,
I have to go. I know we want, we could talk about guests and podcasts all right, but I have got to go because I'm a very busy man, and it's just I don't want to give away what day it is, but it's Demo Post Thursday for me, and it means I've got to go and do the competition, mate. So I've got to go.
Before you do go, I'm also have to go because I've got soft shell tacos with Mexican chicken and pulled pork to eat when I get home.
That you got free from the dustbin?
Nah, free because the missus probably paid for it with my card that I haven't seen the bank statement yet, so therefore I think it's free. No. You've got something big coming up. Do you want to quickly shout about it?
Massive. Yeah, I can do. No one's listened this far to this podcast, and they all left about 10 minutes in when we told them we're just going to talk about the podcast. I am doing a 20-mile obstacle race for charity, mate. I don't like to talk about my charitable work, but it's the biggest obstacle race ever in the UK, and it's going to be crazy because I sprained my ankle a couple of weeks ago. I got a little bit fat through COVID, so it's going to be really testing for me, but I am trying to raise 500 squid for children with cancer UK. So we'll splash the links about everywhere. But Dan, I gotta go. Bye for now.
Bye. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care.
See you in a bit. Bye for now.